Good morning, Cedar River Elementary School. Today is Wednesday. It is December 7th, and here are your daily announcements. First of all, my apologies for our Monday morning announcements. Sometimes the program that I use to make our recording does a little quirkiness on its own, and on Monday it actually replicated the video for the beginning and ending of our morning announcements. So I posted a new one. If you didn't watch it, it does review the expectations for icy recess and when you are out on the playground and there's snow on the ground. Also, that snow, it's important to leave it on the ground even when we're walking between our classes, on the bus lane, to and from specialist. That snow stays on the ground here at school. Speaking of walking to and from specialists, it seems that between our 300 and 400 building, we have a lot of students who are walking to and from RAP and MAP, but it's not really walking, it's running. It's racing between our MAP room and our classrooms. And so I know that Mrs. Larson and myself and Mrs. McKittrick and some other of our staff members have asked students to walk as they're coming through that corridor there. So again, a reminder that even when you're not with your teacher, we are still walking between our classrooms and our buildings. So just a safe reminder, as especially when the ground is sort of icy. You'll see that I have all of these Otter Paws here today turned in, and I pulled some this morning. And so the Otter Paws that I pulled today, I have one to JJ and Miss Huizenga for making good decisions. I have one to Shreya and Miss Johnson for making a good decision in music. I have one to Xander and Mrs. Landry. You are the first one ready, making a good decision. I have one to Mackenzie and Miss Eskison for solving problems and helping in math. I have one to Brandon and Miss Thompson, make a good decision and decided to not stand next to a friend who gets you off task. I have one to Avery and Mrs. Campbell for making a good decision and helping at recess. One to Wyatt and Miss Nixich for being kind, showing respect. I have one to Amanda and Mrs. Rodriguez for making a good decision and finishing all of our work. One to Spencer and Miss Isgrig for showing respect and managing his body. One to Owen and Miss Osborne for making a good decision and working quietly. One to Salome and Mrs. LeBlanc's class for making a good decision and paying attention during your lesson. One to Henry and Mrs. Rowe for making a good decision and focusing on your work. And one to Jameson and Mrs. Rowe for making a good decision and focusing on your work. So excellent job. There'll be prizes in your teacher's box sometime today or tomorrow. Now, I promised a big update on our Otter Paws, and that is in January, I'm going to draw one student per grade level. We're going to draw students to have lunch with Mr. Gear, and that will be our January Otter Paw. And that's from any Otter Paws that you've turned in. I have all of them, and I will pull your names out and let you know before our winter break who those winners are so that you can have lunch with Mr. Gear. It's exciting. Let's see, what else do I have for you? We have another introduction, special introduction for you today. So fun. So that is your 5th grade team, Mrs. Cassidy, Mrs. Rodriguez, Miss Calb, Miss Nixich, and Mrs. Nickel. So if you see them around, give them a wave. I have an announcement from Mrs. Huizinga today and Mrs. Nixich, and it says that they are so proud of all the students who auditioned for the play last night. If you were assigned a part, you were called last night, and they will see you in Gym B after school today. Please know that they tried really hard to find just the right roles for each of the actors and actresses. It is so hard to be able to only offer half of the students roles when you showed so much personal risk and amazing talent. They are very proud of each of the Otters who tried out and thankful to the PTO and school who've worked together to let them do 2 plays this year. So we hope that if you did not get a part, or even if you did, that you were willing to try out for the spring play as well. So thank you to Mrs. Nixich and Mrs. Huizinga for all the hard work they put into making sure that the rest of us are entertained and also celebrating the talent of so many risk takers here at Cedar River. So I can't wait to see the play, and also maybe some more of you will audition in the spring. Let's see, what else do I have for you today? I also want to take a moment to congratulate our student council representatives for the 2022-23 school year. On Friday, I will have an announcement with a picture of all of those winners, and I have a special little bit that they are working on, and I would love to share with you today as well.
Hello, Otters. I'm Evie, your Student Council President.
I'm Capri, your Student Council Vice President.
We wanted to tell you about our Otter Bags of Hope.
Each class is collecting food items so we can build meal kits.
These meal kits help feed families.
So remember to bring in items until December 15th.
And if you don't know what items you're bringing, you can ask your teacher.
Happy collecting!
Thank you, Evie. Thank you, Capri. And thank you, Student Council, for working really hard to support our community. I hope that all of the Otters will help our Student Council with the Otter Bags of Hope. That is all I have for you today. I hope that you have a wonderful Wednesday. I will see you here on Friday. As always, it's a great day to be an Otter. Please turn to your teacher for the Pledge of Allegiance.